Leave off my profession now. Okay. So, that's my
I don't know if you want to play.
Why not?
אוקיי.
What?
והסכמנו להצטלם כי זה עוזר לאנשים אחרים, כי לא אכפת לנו לתת קול למשהו שיכול מאוד לסייע להרבה מאוד אנשים.
Yes, I think the Israeli government has a long history of ignoring problems, and I think this problem should not be ignored. So I agree to sign this.
Well, I just want to support any efforts to grant amnesty to people from Africa seeking amnesty. That.
And you feel comfortable as an overseas Jew coming and signing something to push the Israeli government to do something?
Absolutely, because as long as the Israeli government claims to propagate Jewish values, as long as it is a not a theocracy, but as long as it has religious overtones to the way its government governs and religious undertones to its underlying philosophies, then it's obligated, according to Jewish values, to grant amnesty to the strangers. Just to strangers, to the other. So
no matter what country we go back to, we can always encourage people to help support these refugees and give them rights. And even within Israel, we can support from Kuzlaris.
I think that what's been fantastic about this kind of Me'oravut community involvement project has been the combination of learning about an issue and coming to grips with an issue in Israeli society, and at the same time producing something, a small piece of activism, the kind of activism that we want Mechonikim to go back and be involved in their own communities, and in the future within the Jewish people and Israel, hopefully, that they are involved in that and building the kind of skills of campaigning and involvement in taking action for social justice issues is one of the things we think Mechon's about. But particularly in combination with actually learning about an issue and confronting, for all the beauty and the joy of Israel and that Zionism's about, sometimes confronting some of the difficult stuff that's going on in Israeli society, and be prepared to see that Zionism today is about trying to change that and work with that. And I think even in the space of 3 short months to be able to learn about an issue and put together a small project that actually out in Israeli society is trying to make a small change is just a fantastic thing to see, and a great dogma, kind of example in youth movement language about what being a youth movement madrich and a mechonik is about.
Okay, so will you tell us your name and your movement?
Hi, I'm Amy from Havel, Melbourne.
I'm Ryan from Perth.
I'm Elise from Netset, Melbourne.
Great. And Elise, what's been the best and worst reaction you've had so far?
I think the best reaction was when I approached a woman who was literally on the run, running to go somewhere. She was very, very busy, and she sort of beckoned to me to run with her so that she would hear about the campaign, and continued to take a really strong interest and was telling me about how she had to go here, then here, then here, but she wanted to come back and make sure she took a photo, and she just seemed so genuinely interested that it was quite amazing. And I think the worst reactions are when people sort of pretend not to speak English or just sort of walk past you and don't listen. But it's only to be expected, it's the public. Can't expect everyone to be interested.
And how do you feel about spending your time this morning coming here?
It feels fantastic. I feel like I'm doing something with my morning rather than sleeping. And it's so interesting. I've never taken part in volunteering this way, and so it's really interesting for the first time.
Has it surprised you in some way?
Yeah, I feel like people have taken more interest than I would have expected. I feel like generally in Australia, when you're walking and you see people handing out pamphlets, you sort of sometimes just walk by and don't even find out what their cause is. But here, people really take a genuine interest.
Has this experience led you maybe to be more involved in stuff like this in the future?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing volunteering in the next 2 months, and so this is just a really good way to open it up.
Wow, cool. Thank you, thanks. And can you tell us about your best and worst experiences with people?
I'll do the worst. So, my best experience so far was, I've had 2 actually. The first one was when I approached this one lady, and then she was very interested in what we were doing, and then she offered to donate like a benefit gig for us, where she said that her band would come and play, and it just showed me that people actually do care. And then another time was we went into a camera shop and we spoke to a guy called Saki, and he's from He's from Armenia.
And even though we're not even halfway through the morning, what do you think you'll take away from this experience when it's over?
I think I'll take away the idea that you really can put into practice ideas and goals that you have. I'll take away the fact that we've actually maybe made a difference in some sense. We've contributed to a greater cause of our relationships with them.
What do you think you take away in terms of your own learning?
Learning, it's a lot harder than I thought it was, a lot more downs. I don't think I've ever been so down from a project in my life. It's just been so tough, and there was a huge lack of motivation at one stage, but the last couple of weeks, especially Lauren's just been pushing us through and through. Jonathan obviously and Charlotte have been helping us a lot and just trying to keep our motivation high, and I feel that taking out of this, I know even when you're flat, you can still achieve something great.
And even within Israel, we can support from Chutz La'aretz, we can support the refugee rights in Israel as well.
Great.